Hey everyone, welcome back to Absolute Comics, the weekly show where me and Sal get together and have our fun talking about comic books. Today I want to spoil Night Terra's Nightwing for him. We want to talk a little bit about something.
this All kinds of stuff.
Yeah, this topic. So we'll be talking about the new DC event Beast World. We're talking about Channing Tatum's Tatum.
Okay.
And we'll be talking about the Illuminati. But we hit record a little early, because this is not normally how I open. Normally I'm a little more prepared than this. Oh, and Jason Aaron's coming back to DC. Because we were asked a question, and I saw this rumor myself, and I wanted to talk about this. Rumor has it's going around that Doctor Strange. Okay, first off, so I'm going to tell you the full rumor because I actually looked at the full rumor.
Yeah, because I didn't hear any of this.
Okay, so I had to look at the full rumor because the rumor is that the next Doctor Strange is going to be based on Time Runs Out. And my first mentality was, what's Time Runs Out? So I looked to see what the rumor was, so hoping they would explain which story Time Runs Out was. So
sure, of course.
So for those who don't know, Time Runs Out is actually a storyline that leads up to Secret Wars. It was a Jonathan Hickman Avengers, and what was the other book? It was two Avengers books. Secret Avengers?
Yeah. Oh, it was New Avengers and Avengers, I think.
Yeah. And the basic story is that the Illuminati is in the New Avengers or the Avengers. Either way, the Avengers team is working together to go to other worlds to figure out ways to stop the incursions. The incursions were introduced in the original Doctor Strange movie. And the concept is that something is happening in the multiverse, causing these worlds to collide together and just shatter and to be destroyed. Okay.
Yep.
So I clicked that to see what that rumor was. And I love from our sources before before the writer's strike. Doctor Strange.
Before the writer's strike.
Right.
Well, we know they're going to yell at us about the writer's strike, so we have to make sure to say before the writer's strike they were definitely thinking about doing this.
Now, the reason I bring this one up is because we're getting asked about it, so I want to clarify that.
Oh, okay.
But I want to point out why this is. I'm going to straight up say it: a bullshit rumor made up by some random site. Okay.
Yep.
And I'm going to pinpoint exactly why. Exactly. And I know you already have it in your head what the reasons are.
Oh yeah.
You know what? Why don't you go? Because I've been talking too much.
I mean, just like why what? Like why are they making this?
Why is there no way in hell that we're going to have a Doctor Strange Time Runs Out movie?
Oh, because they haven't written anything. Like there's no Doctor Strange script. There's no Avengers script. There's no. We're supposed to have a Kang movie. You know, they don't even have a damn script done for that movie, and they can't start shooting any of these things until there is a deal.
Right.
And it's 105 days since the WGA went on strike. No deal. We're not seeing another deal for at least a month or two, and it takes 6 to make one of these things.
Well, not only that, but Time Runs Out is the lead-in for Secret Wars. Which was announced. Secret Wars was announced. I think it's 2025, 2026 or something?
Yeah. 20. Well, God.
It'll never happen now. They're going to push it back.
No, 27, 28. Yeah, yeah.
But the point I wanted to make is they already announced all the movies leading up to it.
Yes.
Okay. And they didn't announce a Doctor Strange movie. And Doctor Strange does not pull in an automatic $1 billion to where they would. It's not a Spider-Man where they're going to ninja release a Spider-Man right in the middle of all of that.
No, we know they're not going to do that because we're still getting an Echo show. Because if we were ever going to get secret projects that were called one thing and then turn out to be another, we would have gotten them already. The closest thing we've ever gotten. The one time that Marvel Studios has ever done anything even remotely close to the idea of saying they're going to make one thing and then doing another was that Captain America Serpent Society title change. And it was just the title change. We're still making a Captain America movie. It wasn't like they were like, okay, we're making a Man-Thing live action movie to compete with the Swamp Thing movie that they're making over at DC. Oh, okay. They went, we gotcha. It's Wolverine. They're not going to do that.
Nothing that crazy. So that's the first major reason why I can easily debunk this, because Time Runs Out is the lead-in. Now, you could go ahead and start spouting off. Actually, I'm going to change my line of thought here.
Yeah.
That's the problem with the current situation with the MCU.
Yeah.
They came out and announced the next 3 years of movies.
Right.
And then everyone went on strike.
Yeah. We didn't
there's no speculation no fun speculation to be had right now.
Yeah. No.
Because we know what they're all about.
Exactly. They already spoiled it. And everyone already went, that sounds like, really? Nobody was like, whoa, they can't even make a Blade movie.
Yeah, they
Like,
can't even get that off
how
the
many
ground.
years has it been since they said, "We're making a Blade movie," and
What
it's
blows my
starring
mind about a
Mahershala
Blade movie?
Ali? Yeah.
How hard is it to make a freaking vampire movie?
It's the easiest thing that any studio with a half a dollar can do. It's the easiest thing. And there's at least 4 Blade books you could adapt, which of course Marvel Studios is infamous for doing. There's just crackerjack adaptations, by the way. But a Blade movie is,
I
you know,
got the date, July 2019.
thank you,
That was the official
2019. It was 4
announcement.
years ago. That they were like, "We're making Blade." Like, they were like, "Listen, we're right now in phase 4. Obviously, it's gonna be a little bit later than that, but we're making Blade." They threw out the whole script. I
I
don't
think
understand.
twice.
Twice. There's no way they're making this Blade movie. Like, I would not be the least bit surprised if Mahershala Ali drops out. And then they
Oh,
just go,
no.
"Well, we finally have a script." And then suddenly someone else will be Blade. And it'll just be like, "Yay, it's cool. Don't worry about it." Like,
It'll be
I,
Wesley Snipes.
I mean, honestly, like how like hard they're leaning into the multiverse stuff, like I wouldn't be surprised they were like, just screw it, just make it, just like he wants to do it. You know what I mean? Like Wesley Snipes will show up. You know what
Right,
I mean? Mahershala Ali's like, I don't need a Blade movie. You
right.
know, I want to be Blade because that sounds dope, but it doesn't feel dope to sit around waiting for an effing script about a guy who hunts vampire. Like literally, it's about it. Like it's a tragic backstory, easy to follow, no questions asked. Already established franchise twice over because there's
Yeah.
a movie franchise and a TV franchise, and both of them have succeeded in putting out more Blade movies than Marvel Studios.
Though,
And yet,
remember hearing the story about the guy that played Ghost Rider, kind of being in that weird limbo as well? Like
yeah, the Robbie, yeah,
they
yeah,
they
exactly.
couldn't. The thing with the MCU is once they lock you in, you apparently can't take other roles.
That sucks.
Like the Ghost Rider guy was told over and over, like, well, no, if they do Ghost Rider, you got to be free to do it when they do it, or they're going to
Yeah,
replace you. And he was like, well, I can't take other roles because
right.
what if it gets in the way of this potential Ghost Rider movie that I'm don't even know if it's going to exist.
Well, and I think it was going to be a show too. It wasn't even like it was a movie. You know, like it was just like it would pay better. I understand. It's just they were never going to do that.
Yeah.
And now here we are. You know, here we are again, and they're saying, "Oh, we're going to make a Doctor Strange movie." Which, by the way, getting back to Doctor Strange for a second.
Oh, I haven't. I had a final thought on that too.
Oh, please, let's hear it. Let's hear it.
Oh, I wouldn't. But what I was going to get as with Doctor Strange. At this point, this is my safe bet for all of you guys who are living terminally online, as I have in the past. I've completely disconnected, which makes it easier to identify these things. But I can tell you this right now: any rumor you see that was not announced by Marvel pre-SAG strikes,
Mm-hmm.
it's bullshit.
Yeah.
Because no one's talking at
No.
all.
No.
If you hear, I heard from the studio that got shut down, sure. Maybe someone over a coffee said, you know, it'd be cool if we
Yep.
did this. But anything you hear right now
Mm-hmm.
is bullshit.
Yeah.
When the strikes end, rumors could be legit again.
Yeah.
But nothing's happening.
It behooves you, folks, as fans, even those who live terminally or perpetually online, to approach every single rumor you hear, especially when it comes to a movie which, as I've said probably a dozen times on the history of the show, is a miracle one actually is made at all.
Doctor Strange?
You know, they're hard to make. They're millions of dollars, hundreds of people, and you know, to get one vision out there and then to make it a franchise within a franchise, like it's impossible. It's borderline impossible. And yet, you know what I mean? But suddenly you're gonna find out because there's like nerds under the coffee table at some studio with like a stethoscope up against the table. No. Like, be discerning. And
Yeah.
like, but like when it comes to the Doctor Strange thing, I what frustrates me the most is the terminally online, the people who make these rumors become topics of conversation. And I know right off the bat, there's going to be at least 3 comments, and they're all like, you're who cares? But they're going to be like, well, what are you guys doing? You're talking about it. Yeah, no, we're talking about it with a degree of like caution. We're like, hey,
Skepticism.
this is a thing. And here's why it's a problem.
This topic wasn't even on today's list. I've
No,
only
it's
brought it
not.
up because we had an actual question about it.
Well, and
I
it's worth
saw the
bringing
article.
up. It's
Yeah.
worth bringing up because it's like, listen, Like,
I also want to make a small correction. Doctor Strange 2 got 950 million, but it did not break a billion, like I said.
really?
I'm
950
surprised it
million?
got that much. Yeah.
I am
The first
amazed.
one did just shy of 700 million. I thought the second one did
Really?
similar. No, it did 950.
Good for Doctor Strange. Like, here's the thing. Just as a quick tangent, uh, I believe firmly since the beginning. We've heard what's it called? Kevin Feige has said on numerous occasions, leading up to the casting of Doctor Strange, just going back that far, that Doctor Strange is one of his favorite characters. I think he said the
Right.
same thing about Moon Knight, and I'm like, wow, if that's who you like, yeesh. I'd hate to see who you hate in the Marvel universe, but
Blade.
clearly. But yeah, I won't even make the damn thing. But when it comes to Doctor Strange, Marvel Studios is just like, we don't trust this character. We don't believe in the character. And yet, and we refuse to hang our hat on this character, despite the fact that the character is a household name. He's a household actor. He's in every Avenger. He's he's in every he's in the last 2 Avengers movies. He's a linchpin of your entire phase.
Yeah.
They keep utilizing him, but also marginalizing him at the same time because they're so busy using him as like a doorstop or a bridge, or some other like estuary that gets you to the thing they want to get to, and then they fumble the bag for when they get there. That like give the effing character a movie, like a real movie, like a movie for him,
Yeah.
because as much as it was fun, like, and I will be the first to admit, a corpse Doctor Strange with a cape made of souls is
That was cool.
awesome.
I liked Multiverse of Madness.
I didn't, but I understand why. Like,
but you're also a hardcore Doctor Strange fan.
Well, I'm not. My wife is, but like, I will say that like through osmosis, I've become a Doctor Strange fan. But it's my issue is just like I would be very upset as a Spider-Man fan, right? If they just like I'm sure there are legions of Flash fans that are like, boy, I waited longer than my entire life and also the history of the character to get to finally a big budget Flash movie, and it's a secret Batman sequel. That sucks.
I'm a little ticked.
Yeah, I'd be upset. Oh, also it blows and it looks like ass. But
I don't think it blew. It wasn't great. That was the problem. The problem with the Flash movie. This episode's all over the place. Luckily, people love this shit.
We're going in one direction. We're taking tangents to get there, but we are talking about the Doctor Strange problem.
My problem with the Flash movie, like I liked it.
Yeah.
It was nothing. It's the same issue I have with the Justice League movie.
Right.
It was fun. It was okay. There was nothing inherently wrong with it. It's forgettable in the first 3 to 6 months.
Yes.
Justice League, Flash, no superhero movie in this day and age should be forgettable in 6 months. If you walk out of one of these movies and in 6 to 12 months total, I'm saying 3 to 6, but I'll give you within 6 to 12 months, you cannot remember the plot like beat by beat. I can tell you the plot to Infinity War and Endgame. I can tell you the plot to Winter Soldier. Yeah. I cannot tell you the plot to Justice League other than they were after the boxes.
That is the plot. The problem is the plot is rock simple and it brought nothing to the table. And it was the same with Flash. I could point to a number of things about the Flash movie that I liked and that I liked more than some other DCEU movies. Like the idea of going like, well, we need to establish that this is that character's first movie, but also we need to do the hero's journey, but that hero already had that journey already. How do we do it again? Oh, let's do 2 of the same character, and we can literally have the Sage character be the same character. Like that's a kind of brilliant approach.
Yeah,
there's a lot about that movie that I'm like, that's a really cool idea, or I really like that scene, or that was really funny, or that was really nuanced. But those are all parts of a whole lot of crap. So anyway, I'd be upset if I was a Flash fan and I got nothing but Michael Keaton Batman in it.
That one too, and Supergirl was like, okay.
Yeah. Right.
And
but
the biggest problem with the Flash movie, though, is not only is it pretty much forgettable what actually happened, but the way the movie begins and ends, you don't need to know what happened. Even if this was in the universe, you don't need to know what happened in the Flash movie because he resets the timeline.
And it doesn't even do that properly. But going back to Doctor Strange, the reason why I'm not the world's biggest Multiverse of Madness fan is because it's a similar problem. Strange gets to do things, but he is a vehicle for other stuff. Everybody, the scene, I bet the scene from Doctor Strange and Multiverse of Madness that everyone has seen and that is replayed the most is all the Illuminati stuff. And it completely overshadows the movie, and it ain't even that great. Like that's the tragedy of it. You know what I mean? Is that like No Way Home.
I hate the fact that the Illuminati was like done.
Done.
You're on.
And is like, oh, cool. The orchestral score to the X-Men is played over a Professor X that we're not even gonna keep.
Yeah.
And now we can't use it, except they did in like Ms. Marvel. And you're like, that's not even earned. But regardless, yeah, but Doctor Strange, like we get these moments, these like I love the idea of Doctor Strange fighting Shumagorath invisible in the middle of Manhattan. Dope idea. And then America Chavez shows up and it's about her. Now, okay, you could tailor that scene to be about anybody, and Doctor Strange is like, his motivation, just like any fight scene, is to get to this goal, right? Protect this person, and I'm gonna fight Shumagorath in dope ways, but it's not about flair, it's about like saving someone with style. Cool,
Right.
I'm in. But every scene is compounded by the fact that like our protagonist is America Chavez. Like, and I don't want to talk about her, like the actor or the approach to the character or people's issues with her origins. Just the fact that that the movie is hers, like, and that they throw away all the fun stuff of Doctor Strange and all the exploration we could have with this character, and relegate him to a romance plot,
Yep.
a romance that has already been dealt with. Like, I don't want to hear the what if apologists out there who are like, but he loves Christine in that one episode. No, it's wrapped up. It's wrapped up in the first movie.
Yeah.
They're not together. He's not hopelessly in love with her. They banged. And it's weird. And maybe he liked her. And then it's over. And it's
Yeah.
not interesting. It's not interesting enough. So then to say,
He doesn't even have like a love triangle thing in the comics. I think Clea is the closest, right?
no, it's Clea. There was Night Nurse, which is kind of what they were trying to do with Christine.
But what's that? I mean, but that's what I mean. Like, he doesn't have a Mary Jane, or
He does not have a Mary Jane, but the MCU has given him one in the form of Christine Palmer, which blows, because I don't care. And there's going to be people who are fans of Doctor Strange through the movies who are now going to be like, I don't like Clea just out of hand, because I know multiversally he is meant to be with Christine. It's like, man, Christine isn't even a character. You know what I mean? Get her out of here. And it's not even, it's not fun. It's not like if she brought something to the table to change something about him, or to enhance something that we like about him, or something we didn't know and it's revealed, that would be great. She doesn't do any of those things. But like, then to say Doctor Strange 3 is going to be Time Runs Out is another missed opportunity, because Doctor Strange 2 was just the way they explore the multiverse of it all. Like, that was their movie to explain the multiverse for those who didn't see Loki. Right? That was what that movie was for. It's to be like, this is what the phase is. And I think
Isn't
it was
that
also
another problem with the MCU right now, though?
yeah.
That we have a whole show that explains and goes into the things of the multiverse.
Yeah.
But then they're like, well, we need a movie that does that as well, because
Maybe not enough people watched the Loki show while they were all trapped in their houses and forced to watch it. Like, I understand why people didn't watch Moon Knight, right? We're coming out of it, things, and also it's not a very good show. But then when we're watching, everybody watched WandaVision. You know what I mean? Like, what am I gonna do, right? I'm gonna check out the latest MCU entries, and everyone's here to talk about how good Loki is. Like, I understand not pinning your phase on one of the shows, but you can definitely rely on people having seen the show from the COVID year. Like, and I by the way, COVID ain't even over. I'm just saying the year that COVID first reared its ugly head.
Yeah, that's the COVID year when no one
right.
knew how to
And
react or
I
handle
know there's going to be exceptions, and those are what we call outliers, ladies and gentlemen. Like, oh, my aunt Agnes didn't watch any of Loki. Like, good for her. I'm sorry that she that she started her Etsy shop during the pandemic while the rest of us were watching the MCU. But like, regardless, but we've already marginalized Strange for two reasons. One, to introduce a character that nobody wants to use and that we're never really going to see again. And two, to introduce a phase that we already introduced. So that's like a shame. And then to say, oh, but Time Runs Out, Doctor Strange is going to be great. First of all, you're going to lose Benedict Cumberbatch. Like, because after 2, he already expressed, like, I would like to do something fun with this character. If I'm going to get my movie, because remember, these are franchises. Doctor Strange, Benedict Cumberbatch isn't thinking about like how he's affecting the Spider-Man franchise, and he was great in that movie. He's always great in everybody else's movies, but like, he's going to get weary. And if you make him like pull the cart in this movie that should be your franchise, he's going to leave. And he's going to leave sooner than he should. And that sucks. And so, like with Doctor Strange 3, don't make another vehicle to introduce some other thing that people are going to be more excited about, you know? Like, don't use Doctor Strange 3 to introduce Reed Richards, which they already did. I'm saying make a Doctor Strange movie. Like, if Ant-Man can get a second movie, right, that has more money and can be solely about Ant-Man, then Doctor Strange should get at least one movie where he actually does Doctor Strange stuff. You
Right.
could literally adapt The Oath, Triumph and Torment, Way of the Weird into Shambhala,
The
across
death
the
of Doctor
universe.
Strange.
The Death of Doctor Strange, the Montesi formula, the separate reality, what it disturbs you, Steven. Hell, you could even introduce the Defenders, because at least that's his effing Avengers team.
Yeah.
Like, you could
I
do
would
any
I would like
number.
to see the third one be the death of Doctor Strange.
No!
But don't end it with him. No, I was like, don't
don't
end it
kill
with him
him.
actually dead. Yeah.
Right,
'Cause
exactly. I mean,
the way that story ends, you could easily be like, and he's alive.
right, and he's back. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. The movie could literally be called The Death of Doctor Strange, and it is just like the mystery, right? We
Yeah.
kill him, we de-age him, we have the younger Doctor Strange come in. You know, like that could be kind of
That
fun.
was a fun book. Like, it was
Yeah.
a fun adventure of this older Doctor Strange who doesn't know what's going. I don't think it would hit as hard though. With
I
the
don't think so,
MCU.
because he's only been in 2 movies like of his own, but he's been in a lot of other movies. I think people would recognize him, especially because, like, while I think he got the most exposure thanks to Endgame and Infinity
For those
War,
who are wondering, because I do know what Sal said and the wording on it, that what about a movie about him? Sal's talking about a movie where Doctor Strange gets to be Doctor Strange, not the origin story yet
Yeah.
again. Because
I
the
don't-
origin stories, a lot of times, the characters aren't the characters that we know.
exactly that, and also the origin of Doctor Strange 1 is just a reevaluation of Iron Man. Like, it was just another way to do that. Um, meh. The first movie is mostly just it's mostly introducing a concept that they were afraid to actually say, which is magic, right? Because we already established in Thor that, like, magic is science we don't understand, fart. And then in this one, they're like, I don't think the audience is going to accept magic. Like, I don't, you know, there's
So they made
still
a
like,
sling ring.
right. The sling ring is a perfect totem of Marvel's just the tip nonsense, because Doctor Strange does not need
Just
an
the tip, guys.
that it's cool. It's cool because we're not going whole hog on magic, okay? Because he's got this little thing, and he needs that. It grounds it, right? Because if he can just teleport, then he can do anything, and when there's no tension, and it's like there's
I
no
mean, that's
tension
literally
in any
Doctor
of the movies
Strange,
we
though.
do.
Doctor Strange can't do anything. Like,
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
amount of times in the comics you're like, oh, and Doctor Strange is here. I don't even question that at all.
No, but most of the time when Doctor Strange shows up, they're like, make this problem just immediately go away. And he's like, that's not how that works.
But I love when they do that with him, though. Make this immediately go away. He's like, I can't do that.
Yeah,
But I could do something very similar.
right, exactly. It's just frustrating. It's like, but you're looking at a guy who literally was like, when I found out that No Way Home was going to be about 3 Spider-Man and all these villains from movies that I love, I was like, oh, couldn't he just fight Kraven the Hunter? Like, I'm the kind of person who wants to see a Spider-Man movie that they can't not spend $250 million on, that would just be about him, like, trying to date Gwen Stacy and fighting, like, not even the Prowler, the Black Fox. You know, like somebody, like, where it's like a low stakes situation, but the highest stakes because it's about this poor schlub who lives in New York and is trying to make rent because Mrs. Muggins or whatever is trying to friggin' like raise the rent on him. Like, I just want to see the character realized. That's all.
I
You know what
actually
mean?
agree with you 100% on that. I haven't really said much about it, but I love the Tom Holland trilogy. But I do
I love
feel
him
like
too. I think it's great.
but I do think the Tom Holland trilogy raises the stakes way too quickly because we never, in the words of a lot of people, and I hate to say it this way, but we never got just Spider-Man.
Right.
Every time Spider-Man shows up, he has to fight the Vulture, or he's trying to fight
Well,
a Doc
fighting-
Ock, or he's
him fighting his villains is great. That's what I want. But, like,
no, but I like the idea of introducing
all-
other villains. Like,
Yes.
the video game, I think, did it best by bringing in Mr. Negative.
right.
Like, as a comic book fan, I knew very little on Mr. Negative going into that.
There
'cause he
wasn't
is-
much of him. Like, he's
Exactly.
He
He's
had
such
his
an
debut and he was around a
obscure
little
character.
bit. Yeah, he's an obscure character. That's true.
And I do
Or he
feel like
was.
Mysterio was great, Vulture's great, but we could have gone even more obscure.
Right.
Characters that don't show up anywhere, like Mr. Negative and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But
Dude.
the issue that I have with No Way Home, and I'm
Yeah.
going to say it here, and I'm the guy that has an issue with Endgame where I say it's a terrible solo
Yeah, you
movie.
don't think that Endgame is a good movie on as itself? Like,
I
as a
don't. I
movie?
don't think it stands on its own at all. But I do think it's an incredible finale to the entire MCU.
Yeah.
If you watch everything, or even Infinity War, Endgame's great. But if you try
Right.
to just If I just say, hey, let's go watch this thing called Endgame that you've never heard of, Sal,
Yeah,
I
but at
think
the
it's
same
terrible.
time, like I could also say Godfather 2 is amazing as a movie and as a sequel, and I would still need to have seen Godfather 1 in order to understand most of the things that are happening, but it's still a great movie.
Well,
I like Endgame, and
like
I
I said,
think
my opinion on Endgame is just a very objective, just opinion, and I know
yes,
that. Like,
yes, fair enough, fair
but
enough.
the issue I have with Spider-Man's third chapter, I loved his third chapter, but I felt like the stakes got way too high, way too quick for this Spider-Man.
There's
We
a
never
lot.
that we
Yeah.
didn't even get like simple Spider-Man stopping a mugging.
We didn't even get to play with and enjoy his identity reveal.
We didn't
Like,
even get to play with and enjoy anything involving MJ, even though we're going. Well, that was not Mary Jane. That was
she'll be
was it
back, Michelle
Michelle
Jones.
Jones.
She'll be back in all of them. If they do make a new trilogy, she will be in every single one of them because she's a star. And as far as Hollywood's concerned, she is a member of the franchise.
Well,
Even though it's
what I'm
like,
saying is like we didn't even get to go into the third one. We finally got the beginnings of a relationship.
yes.
We
And then they undid it.
finally, yeah, and then we ended it. Like we finally got like the first movie is just Peter. Oh, what do? I don't know how to do this. And then he's
Mhm.
fighting against all these alien technology. In the second
Yeah.
movie, we go on vacation.
Right.
We literally go to Europe.
We go to Europe, one place that I never want to see Spider-Man.
Right. And then the third movie is like, okay, now that the stakes are already crazy high, and they weren't even, we're gonna throw them through the roof and wipe everything out. And I'm like,
Yeah.
it was a great movie.
Yeah.
And I think it works as well as it does because we do have 5 other Spider-Man movies.
Yeah. Well, it does rest on the laurels of what came before, but I
Yeah,
think
and 100% does because they show the hell up.
well, yeah, but I do think there is a movie in there. Like there is like Tom Holland's Spider-Man has his own movie deep inside of No Way Home. Like
Oh yeah,
he
the
has
loss
an
of
arc,
Aunt May and all that stuff.
right?
I mean,
But like the fact that Aunt May is killed by a multiversal threat sucks. How they did it is great. And when I say great, I don't mean great for the franchise and the character. It's not like it was a wonderful Spider-Man moment that I love from the comics. I'm saying it was great in its execution within the context of the story I'm watching.
yeah.
I thought that the way that the acting, the sequence itself, and the impact it had on that character, like we somehow managed to have "with great power comes great responsibility" said in the movie, and still not know if Uncle Ben exists in this reality. I swear to God, we still have no idea. And don't tell. Well, I know what ifers, and I know Far From Homers. He had a luggage that had Bed Parker on, like that had
But it doesn't.
BP.
I mean, but Michelle Jones was MJ.
Right. What if they got that at a garage sale, for Barry Peterson? We don't know. And what's more is, and that kills me about that luggage, because it's like, oh, what a nice little moment. It's Uncle Ben's luggage. It's destroyed. Nobody says anything about it. It's like a piece of Uncle Ben and it's gone, and nobody goes like, oh, the luggage was destroyed. Would have been a nice little moment. Hey, it's a moment like that everybody loves in one of the worst Spider-Man movies of all time. Spider-Man 3 is trying to get that ring where he fights Harry Osborn. But like I said earlier about like action sequences, it's got to have some kind of tether to something that matters to the protagonist. In that whole sequence, it's a spectacular sequence where Spider-Man's fighting a snowboarder in the sky. And the only thing that matters is if Peter can hold on to the ring. I hate that movie. And that sequence is fantastic. And it's like, because you care. The stakes are,
Yeah.
what if I drop the ring that Aunt May gave me so I can marry Mary Jane? Like that. That's great. Wouldn't it have been wonderful in Far From Home? I would have given more of a crap because like there's the fight sequence with Spider-Man in Europe on London Bridge or whatever. I know it's not London Bridge, but with Mysterio and the drones, it's a great sequence. It's a lot of fun. I like watching it, and from start to finish, like from when he thinks it's Nick Fury to when he gets to the end, and Mysterio clearly doesn't die. Like all that stuff is great, but wouldn't it have been greater if his luggage, like this is my pitch, like, right? Like where it's like, if the luggage had been involved,
Yeah.
I got to get this suitcase. It's the last piece of Uncle Ben. And then either he gets the suitcase and it's all torn up and it's got like smoke bomb residue and stuff. It's all, it's all like soiled. And he's like, here, Aunt May, that would have been just a line, throwaway line. Instead of hitting him in the face with a banana, she goes, this is your Uncle Ben's case. Please don't lose it, right?
Yeah.
And then so that he thinks about that the whole time, and then finally gives it to her. He's like, I'm really sorry. And she's like, he's not a suitcase. You know what I mean? Like something like that would have been people would have been like, there would have been a dry eye in the house. Instead, it's like, oh no, the Black Dahlia thing, a thing we're introduced to and never pay off in any way. Like she likes the Black Dahlia because the murders, because she's weird. You know what that is? That's telling, not showing. Michelle Jones is weird. How do we know this? Because we say she says weird things.
Because she falls into the pixie dream girl trope is
yes,
what it is.
She completely does. Like, she doesn't say anything that is in any way off kilter, except like she gets like 1 or 2 lines, but even then,
I like how our first 30 minutes in our podcast, based on one loose rumor, has turned into us just shitting on everything. Apparently,
well, it's just like these are the missteps.
I just realized it. Like, we've shit on Doctor Strange, Endgame,
Flash, Spider-Man,
yeah.
I don't think we're shitting on it. I think that we're lobbing legitimate criticisms at movies that people really like, that are going to make billions of dollars regardless of how we feel about it. And that's the issue. And it's how it ties into the Doctor Strange 3 rumors, because if you just blindly like things or embrace them or accept rumors as they are, Hollywood's listening. And not us, but listening mostly to you out there, folks. And so, like, if you go, oh my God, Morbius is really cool, they'll re-release it. Now that is a stroke of genius. I wish they'd learned the lesson, but it's Sony and they never do, which is don't make Morbius movies. And they were like, I think we should re-release Morbius.
No, their reaction was, not only should we re-release the Morbius, we should finish Craven, because we people like these villain movies, right?
Like that. Like, stop trying to make a Sinister Six movie.
I can already get it now.
On
Craven. Yeah.
Oh, I guarantee you there's already a hashtag with a little character that says Craven. Like, but like, yeah, the Sony doesn't understand those things, but it's like, but legitimizing, giving credence to rumors that are not productive and are instead only reductive to the character or to the franchise only make things worse.
Yeah.
So, but Doctor Strange 3, I don't want Time Runs Out. You want to make Time Runs Out? I got a great time. And hey, on the timeline that Feige released at San Diego Comic-Con a couple years ago, remember?
Yeah.
We have a movie that they could do. It solves everything. You ready for this?
Okay.
Throw away Doctor Strange 3. You make that later. Make Doctor Strange 3 later. Make the whole damn thing in the Dark Dimension, please. By the way, really quick aside, my biggest gripe with Doctor Strange 1, right? It's not just the origin story that is a problem. It's fine. The origin story. Okay, whatever. It's good. Like, genuinely, it's not terrible. He fights Dormammu at the end. The biggest one. The biggest, most bad villain, like the Thanos of the Doctor Strange franchise. And he fights him and beats him. That's it.
With a riddle, basically.
Which is, by the way, kind of cool. It's cool because that's very Doctor Strange. That moment was Doctor Strange, but it could have been earned later. He fights Caecilius. He fights, like, he could fight Mordo. They threw 3 Doctor Strange villains at him in one movie, which is also his origin.
That was just weird. I was gonna say, like, you could have literally just done Mordo, and that's it. Like,
that's all you needed.
Yeah, we didn't need to go.
They don't even want Mordo because, like, he got killed in a deleted scene in Multiverse of Madness. Like, and so as a result, he's not really dead. You know, lame. Anyway, but the way to fix it is Avengers Kang Dynasty is on the docket. I think we've established there's no script, there's no cast, there's no
Make
plan.
that Time Runs Out.
Right? That's Time Runs Out.
Yeah.
Avengers Time Runs Out. And
which is what the actual story is, by the way.
Which it is. It is not a Doctor Strange comic. It is an Avengers story. Wouldn't it be really cool to get an Avengers story where Doctor Strange, like, sells his soul in the market of whatever the hell? I don't remember how he does it, but you know what I mean? Like, getting Time Runs Out in an Avengers movie to highlight all these fun characters and assign roles to the characters you do have and take them away from the characters you don't. Because, like, Iron Man, Captain America, they're gone. And I don't know what you're doing with Hulk. You're making him a Captain America character now because all the Hulk characters are coming back for Captain America 4. I don't know what you're even doing anymore.
I don't even know what's going.
Like, Captain America 4 should be the one where they're like, actually, it's Hulk. Like, you know
what I love about that, though, is that the Hulk has just turned into the cameo character. Like, oh, just give me a Red Hulk, give me a She-Hulk, and give me a Red She-Hulk, and then
yeah. No, I'll take a Red She-Hulk. That'd be awesome. Liv Tyler is as whatever, the Harpy. That'd be cool. Anyway,
I don't know about Harpy, but I'll take normal Red She-Hulk.
Yeah,
Harpy's a little weird. Harpy's a little weird.
It is a little weird, but Red She-Hulk would be dope. I agree with that. But yeah, so, like, you know, Doctor Strange 3, don't make it Time Runs Out. Make Kang Dynasty Time Runs Out. There's like maybe 2 good Kang stories.
What blows my mind about Kang Dynasty is That exactly. There's no good Kang story, really. Like,
No, there's like Avengers Forever, and that does not count, and they're never going to make it.
Kang Dynasty, the comic, is the closest to a real good Kang story, and that is partially ruined by 90s everything needs
it's
to
not
be
very good.
Yeah.
It would be like if they said, "Oh, we're making Avengers Galactic Storm." Like, you don't have to do that.
What they should do, and here's my pitch to fix it, and then we're going to go to the actual topics.
Yes.
Scrap Kang Dynasty as it stands.
Completely. That's
Okay?
out.
Due time runs out. Do whatever you want to lead into Secret Wars. Secret Wars does not need Kang Dynasty to be its lead-in. It doesn't.
Nope.
What you should do, especially with the nature of what we've done with Kang shows up all over the place.
Right.
It is constantly defeated. What if, bear with me, what if Jonathan Majors Kang is in every Marvel movie going forward?
Right.
Okay?
Right.
As the opening character who gets beat in 5 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
It's a variant of Kang that not only can Ant-Man beat, but Captain America, Winter Soldier, Doctor Strange, they all just beat him. He's a laughingstock.
Yes.
Then Kang Dynasty is when the actual threatening Kang arrives.
Right.
So the laughingstock character 5 years from now that has been showing up, we're like, it's Kang again.
Right.
Now shows up and wipes out Earth at the intro.
Mm-hmm.
And you're just like, what?
Yeah.
Kang?
Right. Well, he needed to lose all those times to learn what not to do. You know.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And we play it off of that concept because that's the Kang Dynasty.
Yeah.
Kang Dynasty is I've lost all these times. Now I know how to beat you.
Exactly. That'd be cool. I take that. I take that.
And then it doesn't get in the middle of Secret Wars. We could do Secret Wars as is.
Yeah.
And then Kang comes afterwards. And you get 5 years of Jonathan Majors ripped beyond belief, knocking the hell out of everyone, and then getting beat.
Yeah. Honestly, I mean, like, I think Secret Wars should be off the table completely and go, like, we'll build to that. That we were stupid to tell you that was the plan.
I think the reason we're getting Secret Wars is entirely to mash up Fox's universe with the MCU. That's all I think is the purpose of it.
They'll do that with Deadpool 3. We don't need that anymore.
Yep. Deadpool 3 can be the equivalent of that mashup. And then we go.
Exactly. But moving on.
Okay, so we're going to hit our actual topics. These aren't too beefy, so that's why I wasn't trying to stop the other conversation.
True, yeah, fair enough.
But here's the first one. I love and hate this. Jason Aaron is coming to DC Comics to write Batman Off-World, a story about young Batman who comes face to face with an alien and makes a decision to venture off in the cosmos. I'm going to say, I love Jason Aaron's writing. I'm excited to see what he's going to do. I'm so goddamn tired of Batman and his origin years.
No,
like,
I'm never. I'm down. I'm so.
That's what I love about what Chip Zdarsky's doing. Is continuing current Batman. Give me a current day Batman story where he goes off world.
Yeah, no, I'm good. You have that the Fortress. He doesn't go off world, but he fights aliens.
Yeah, but they do that stuff. Like I don't want more origin. We're at a point where there's no way humanly possible Batman did all of this.
Right. And there was an entire series called Legends of the Dark Knight that was just all of them were just. So this is year 2. Like, yeah, like all of these things happened to him during that time. Yeah. I'm in. I love this idea. First of all, Jason Aaron doing one character is a fantastic idea. Jason Aaron covering Batman, I'm so on board. Doug Mankey drawing it, toppers.
You know what I love this though? Jason Aaron's now coming over. We got Chip Zdarsky over here. Like DC's picking up all the big names. People are getting tired of Marvel not letting any. Because I think this is entirely my thought process. I am not trying to say I know what's going on, and I want to clarify that because people know that we talk to the writers.
Right.
But I think the writers at Marvel are just getting tired of Marvel canceling everything.
Yeah.
They can't just finish a goddamn story over there.
I think
so rarely do they get you just finish a story at Marvel.
I mean, Jason Aaron did,
but like off the top of my head, I can think of a few writers that Benjamin Percy got to finish his Wolverine thing, but even that's left in limbo right now.
Not done yet. Yeah.
Nope. Jonathan Hickman had to stop doing Krakoa, couldn't finish it. Regardless of the reasoning, he didn't get to do it.
He didn't get to finish it. It's true. And he ruined
Dan
Inferno
Slott got to end his Spider-Man, and they dragged him back.
I genuinely think that Dan Slott is given whatever he wants so he doesn't leave.
I could see that. Michael Bendis got ripped, pulled away.
Bendis is a different beast. That's one of those things where it's like Bendis was poached by DC and given an insane contract with tons of money. That's conjecture, I assume, but like there's only one explanation. But
Tom Taylor
worked for Marvel. Tom King worked for Marvel. Like there's a lot of there's a lot of writers that like had made their bone. I mean, even Josh Williamson wrote a couple Marvel books, and no one ever talks about them. And now he's like an
I don't even
architect
know
at
he
DC. He did a Suicide Squad book during Secret Wars called I think I don't remember if it was Thunderbolts or if it was
Thunderbolts
Red
is
Skull. It
gangster.
was called Red Skull.
Okay.
That was a good one. That was fun.
But anyway, I'm excited. I'm tired of these early origin stories. I'd like to see more current day stuff
That's
with
fair.
Batman. Yeah.
I hear your criticisms. I'm in.
Another thing we're going to disagree on. Why can't we just agree all the time and make a boring podcast?
Exactly.
All right, I'm going to skip the next one because I think that'll be our biggest topic today.
Sweet.
So Dan wrote this one, and I'll write it the exact way he wrote it because he loves it when I write his weird typing.
Yeah.
Channing Tatum's dream is about to come true. If this rumor becomes reality, the actor is getting to play Gambit with a comic-accurate costume in the planned Deadpool 3 movie.
Okay. I hope they do it because I think that Channing Tatum as Gambit is a terrible idea. And so if they throw him into this Deadpool 3 movie, that'll be enough so they don't have to do it again. Because I think that Channing Tatum would be a terrible Gambit and I don't want to see it. So it's like, yeah, make him a joke in Deadpool 3.
I'm down. The next one is a new iteration of the Illuminati is being created. In the upcoming Thanos miniseries, we see Thanos coming to Earth to take on the new Illuminati, which is Mr. Fantastic, Doctor Strange, and Iron Man reforming the team with 2 new members. Emma Frost, Dan wrote, likely taking the spot of Professor X, and Blue Marvel. Why are they trying to make Blue Marvel a thing?
They've been trying since he was invented.
That's what I mean. Like, that's why? If you want a strong black character, lean more into Black Panther. Lean more into Blade. Like
Blade on the Illuminati. I'm thinking, okay,
he's
Blade,
on the Avengers and it worked.
Yeah, Blade. I swear, if you propose another anti-vampire idea, I'm gonna freak out because it's just it's every week with you is about vampires. They're a real problem. Yeah,
but Sam Wilson on it.
Yeah.
I get that we're lacking strong black characters in Marvel.
I take Monica Rambeau.
Monica Rambeau.
Lead the Avengers.
If we're allowed to have female black characters in there, then let's throw in Storm, Monica Rambeau, like off the bat.
Storm would be really cool.
I don't think that put Miles on a team.
Miles be like, what?
I'm getting at is we're not in a position where we have an abundance of black characters in Marvel. But I don't think we're in a position where there's almost none and we have to reach out. It's not a situation like Captain Marvel where there is just no strong female characters that Marvel owns. So let's make Captain Marvel important and no one wants that.
Well, we can't use a mutant. So yeah. I mean, like Blue Marvel, you could do worse. I don't have a problem with this character at all.
He just doesn't do anything. It's like Sentry. Okay. Yeah, I have the same argument. Don't bring in Sentry. Because Sentry and Hyperion are the exact same characters, basically, and neither of them have done anything.
Hyperion is better, I think, because Hyperion doesn't have that complication where it's like every time Sentry does anything, he's like, the Void! I'm so sick of hearing about the Void.
The Void! Guys, don't let me out of the house! The Void!
Yeah, shut up, Sentry. Shut up, Bob. No, Blue Marvel's fine. I love the idea of like
Cage.
Hulk being
Thank you, chat. How did I forget Luke Cage?
I don't know.
He's the mayor right now.
But Emma being on the team, I love that idea. Yeah, that's true. I think Emma would be great. I'm excited to see Emma on the team. Like, this is a fine Illuminati. Why Thanos would come to Earth and be like, I'm gonna punch every the secret.
Is Thanos alive again?
Who cares?
He's been killed twice in the last 5 years.
He died a lot during the Starlin run too, so it's fine. Really.
But like, I thought the last time he died and it was the Guardians trying to protect him from coming back, and he didn't come back.
Oh, I wouldn't even know.
I thought that was Donny Cates' last run with the Guardians. They were trying to revive him and use Gamora's like genes or her body or something.
Oh yeah, I don't know. Whatever.
No.
He's back.
I don't know if he's back or not. That's the only question I have.
Well, he isn't. He will be here.
Well, yeah, he's got to come back here. But
exactly.
Is he already back, or are we bringing him back?
I don't know.
All right. According to our chat, he was back in Eternals. They think.
Oh yeah, that's right. He was Eternal Prime for like a minute.
Oh, yeah, because I remember him dealing with that. Yeah, that was also weird.
Yeah, that was cool. Eternals was a great book. You guys should read it.
I read bits and pieces of it. I liked what I did read, but I can't vouch for it because I didn't read the whole thing. So
it's fair. It's fair.
All right, and now here's the biggest one I think we'll talk about, or maybe not, and this is the end of the show. We'll figure it out. But I don't agree with this. DC has announced its next event.
Yeah.
We're not done with the current event, Sal.
Yeah, I know.
And if you read, I know you haven't, if you've read the new Superman, I believe they're implying the Brainiac event.
Yeah.
You're like, is DC just doing event after event after event now? Like, are we not doing?
Yes, they are.
Okay, so Night Terrors is going to end in 2 weeks. It ends on
Well,
August 20th.
this looks like it's a Titans event.
But it's going to be company wide again. That's the problem.
Right. But it only affects look at the reading order. It's Titans, Beast World, and the book Titans. It's not Superman Beast World, it's not Batman Beast World, it's not Wonder Woman Beast World. It's
So
just
it's
Titans.
Company wide, but it's not going to be like Night Terrors.
Right, but if you don't like the Titans, if you hate the Titans, you can skip the whole damn thing and you won't miss a beat.
Right. So what Sal's getting at is that there's another event coming in November. It's going to be Titan centric, and it looks like it's going to be Titans Beast World, Tales of the Titans, Titans Beast World, Titans Beast World, Titan Beast World. Holy shit! It's just got a bunch of it. It's got a bunch of its own tie-ins.
Exactly.
I bet you Titans Beast World Tour. That's the worst name ever. Yeah. Titans Beast World Tour Metropolis is your Superman book.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised.
Just like Star Gotham, City, I bet you Gotham is Batman.
Central that makes sense.
So it is going to be company wide, but unlike Night Terrors, it looks like it won't interrupt things.
I wonder. I mean, like, if they're smart, because it, like, I don't know. I don't know what the right call would be, but
it looks like the event is going to be Gar, Beast Boy, is going to turn into Starro and become Garro. And that's all we know.
All right, whatever.
We see things like Black Adam as a lion tearing people to shreds. So, he creates spores like Starro that go over the planet and makes human-animal hybrids all over the place.
Oh.
Your face!
I mean, like, it's Tom
Batman. Okay, I got $5. It says Batman's going to be an actual bat.
Why not? Why not?
Let's put some bets out here. What do you think Superman's animal is going to be?
Oh, maybe a dog, maybe a horse. I don't know. Thinking of super pets.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking too.
Right? Maybe a monkey.
So Supergirl's going to be a cat girl. Catwoman will become an actual Catwoman.
There we go. Wonder Woman will become a kangaroo.
What was Flash's pet? Is it a turtle?
I don't know. Probably. That's cute.
I think the Flash has a turtle. I think
the
Flash
has
a turtle.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not.
I didn't want to say it, Bat Song, but Bat Song lyrics. I didn't want to say it, but you said it, so I'll read your comment. Furries are about to pop off on DC.
Maybe. Listen, if Disney can make an entire movie just for furries, DC could make one small event.
Wonder Woman becomes a seal. Our chat is having so much fun trying to figure out what people become.
Exactly.
All right, this might be, if it's not interrupting our storylines again, this will probably be a fun event.
I bet it does, but we'll see. I don't know. I didn't even know this thing was coming, but
I did, but I only knew it because at the end of John Kent.
Yes.
He gets there and he's like, everyone is screaming. And I was like, oh, Night Terrors. And it's like, to be continued in Beast Wars or whatever. Beast World.
Yes. I thought that was just in the next story for John Kent. But okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
I know.
So that's going to pick up in November. We're going to get that Beast World event.
Okay. Beast World.
Party on.
Is there a logo? Does it look cool? I was looking at this. I couldn't find the Beast World.
I couldn't even see covers. They're not even showing covers yet, I don't think.
No. What the hell, guys?
There's just one cover. They're just showing the Titans issue.
Yeah, that's fine. I mean,
but it looks like that Titans issue is just going to conclude what's going on with the Titan storyline about Flash being dead.
Yeah. Oh, good. Yeah, because that was a weird idea. I
actually like that. Have you seen what they did with that?
I haven't, but I know it's good. I just haven't read it yet.
Without spoiling what's going on, issue 1, Flash is dead. Issue 2, Flash is alive. That Flash is from the future.
Yes, he's like, solve my murder.
Right. So the future Flash came back to let the Titans and himself solve his own murder.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's a fun concept, and it doesn't like break anything. But my problem with Wally West video still stands. Why do we keep doing shit to Wally? Just let Wally be happy.
Never. That's
like at this point, I feel like it's gonna be like, let Wally be happy. Let Spider-Man be happy. Why can't anyone be happy?
We can't give you an exit point. Why?
Okay, I do want to ask you this before we close out, because we haven't spoken about this, and it's now a thing. It's going on. Mm-hmm. And I just covered the video today because I caught up on all the issues. Spider-Boy's not going anywhere. What do you think of Spider-Man's sidekick?
Oh, it's terrible. It's just terrible. It's a terrible idea. You know, I think everyone's continuing to ignore it. It's just happening in Dan
I'm the
Slott's
only
little
channel
world.
covering it.
Yeah, that makes sense. I just couldn't. I couldn't care less about him. I actually, and I will say, just so I'm not completely negative about it, I kind of like Bailey's outfit.
Yeah. So the first arc that involves Bailey was 8, 9, and 10 of Spider-Man.
Yes.
And I actually like the way they handled Bailey. I actually do like what they did with him. And then at the end of it, Spider-Man's like, no, hold on. I would never have a teenage sidekick.
Yeah.
Like, and now 11's going to dive into that.
I
So,
I really hope that they reveal that like he's not. You know what I mean? Like that
well,
he's
he
that
looks
like
like an actual spider. He transformed into multiple eyes in his head and he had
yeah.
fangs.
Yeah.
So
I don't
I
know.
don't know what he is, but I loved when Spider-Man saw him. He's like, wait, you didn't go back to your universe? It's like,
Yeah.
I live here, Spider-Man. No, that's not right.
I just want him to go. I want Bailey to die on the way back to his home planet.
I wonder if
So I
he's the
don't care.
reason Dan Slott came back. Dan Slott was like, I will do Spider-Man, but you gotta let me make my own Spider Kid.
Yeah. Yeah. They had to have written a check to DC, right? Because they both own Spider-Boy. Like because Spider-Boy was their amalgam character. So Marvel had to write
Oh,
a check to DC to get that character.
to
So
use
it
that
must have
name.
to use that name. They can't they or yeah, no, because there was a Spider there were two different Spider-Boy issues. Like there was two Spider-Boy books from Amalgam. But I wonder if they like have to if they will never give Bailey a book. You know what I mean? They're like, "Oh, we
He's
have to
got a book
pay
coming out
him."
next week.
Does he really? It's called Spider-Boy?
Let me see what it's called. Maybe next week or the week after. It's a 5-issue miniseries.
Okay.
It was announced first ongoing series. It's straight up titled Spider Boy.
They had to write a
Dan
check.
Slott and Mark Bagley are doing a 5-issue spread for Spider Boy. Starts in November.
That's funny. Yeah. Just know that DC got a check because Dan Slott wanted to give Spider-Man a stupid teenage sidekick.
The only problem I have with this is, and I'm not saying that Miles is a sidekick,
Right.
he's
We have a
not.
young Spider-Man character already.
But that's my problem. We already have a young Spider-Man character, and I'm not saying make Miles the sidekick,
No.
but I feel like we're way past. Although you know what, I was gonna say we're way past Spider-Man having a sidekick, but I will say this: this is an original idea for Spider-Man. Everyone's always complaining that we're just getting rehashed Spider-Man storylines. I don't think he's ever had a sidekick, especially one that's like, I was already your sidekick.
Oh, he had a sidekick, all right.
Well, who was it?
Alpha, created by Dan Slott.
You're not. Oh my God, you're right.
Yeah.
For those who don't know, Alpha was a character that was introduced during the Dan Slott run. When he had Parker Industries, he made some kind of weird technology that infused a kid with the powers of basically Superman, but they were electric based. It's basically what it boiled down to.
Yeah.
And then Dan Slott tried real hard to make Alpha a thing, but he wasn't truly Spider-Man's sidekick.
No.
He was just trying to
No.
make another character.
Well,
And-
no, the Slott like approach. I remember. Okay, so like nobody likes Alpha because and if you listen to anybody who says I hate Alpha, it's because they were there when Alpha was created because nobody's read the Alpha books ever since then. But Dan Slott had been hyping up Alpha, like he's like, this is the newest, most amazing character. It's so exciting.
Yeah.
And he was created to be a loser asshole that nobody liked. Like he was
Yes.
created to lose, but Slott's like whole approach was he's Spider-Man's sidekick. Like we're doing this, and then it was like, oh, it's all fake, and then people actually
Yeah, because he
interpreted
wasn't actually the sidekick.
no, and
He
people
got introduced
thought,
in Spider-Man.
exactly, and the audience thought that like he was turned into like a loser and kicked off of Spider-Man's book because of negative reception, but no, he was always going to be kicked out. Like it was never going to be a thing. So Alpha was like never genuinely considered to be a sidekick. It was just that was the approach. In this case, here we are with Spider-Boy. I don't Slott has a lot of pull here. I imagine that if Slott wants Bailey to matter, then
We'll get a limited run solo series with Mark
no,
Bagley
he
doing
will
art.
always have been in this universe. Like we will, like this next issue will firmly establish Bailey did exist. We're gonna one more day him basically. Like this happened. You just don't remember it. It's always been this way.
Well, that's going to be the big question because the story right now is that Bailey was always here. He knows Miles and Peter, and that he got wiped out by the dagger in the end of the Spider-Verse, which wasn't a great storyline, but the dagger was a great excuse for Bailey to come out of it.
Yes, exactly.
So next issue, I do think you're right. I think issue 11 is going to be because Spider-Man stops him and says, "Stop this. We're figuring this out now."
Yeah.
because the running thing in the 8, 9, and 10 was that Spider-Man and Gold Goblin recognized that this, like, I think 10-year-old kid is a problem,
Yeah.
but Electro was the bigger problem at the moment. Let's take care of
Exactly.
Electro. Bailey's not against us. We
Right.
can figure that out later.
Yeah.
Well, now we're getting to later. So
Exactly. Dan's research established a tweet from Dan Slott himself back in March who said, "Who is Bailey and why? Or who is Spider-Boy and why? For some time, when I found out that we could use that name, I was beyond ready for this." So
so you
there's
think
an
they got the
implication.
name?
Maybe they got the name, maybe they paid for it, because we did a video a long time ago about the Sony leak, and Spider-Boy was on that list of, like, don't even bother.
Oh
Because,
yeah.
like, because we'd
Yeah.
have to deal with both companies. But yeah. Yeah.
I want to talk about one more issue that came out recently because I
Sure.
know you're going to read this and I know you're going to love it, and I'm not going to spoil it. I'm not going to, because I know you want this. Read the latest World's Finest.
Okay. I can't
It's
wait.
the-
I love that series.
Okay. This issue starts the new arc, and the new arc is the origin of Batman and Superman's friendship.
Yeah.
And the first issue is incredible. It's so good, and I know you like it enough. I don't want to say anything else. All I
Great.
want to say is read that issue.
I will.
okay?
I'll read it today. I love that book. So I'll be down. I'm so down.
Yeah, it's so good. I was like, this is amazing. I love this. This is so good.
Yeah.
I don't want to spoil anything, but next week we'll talk about it after you've had a chance to read it yourself and experience it yourself. I do want to talk about it, but I
Sweet.
don't want to spoil that one. So we'll talk about it next week and how they're kind of like World's Finest is my favorite DC book right now.
Yeah. It's
just
amazing.
it's amazing. It's the finest. It's the world's finest.
It's right.
All right, guys, I hope you enjoyed today's episode of Absolute Comics. Let us know down below what you think about this, what your opinions on our topics are, and did you enjoy the 35-minute rant that I don't even know how we got on all that, but thank you guys so much. We'll see you next time right here at the Absolutely channel, where you can watch videos on a nearly daily basis if Dan does his job and picks out topics. Bye.